Hi everyone, welcome back to my craft room. If you're new to my craft room, then welcome. Today I'm working on some of these signs from Dollar Tree. I have this love sign here. It has this little jute string that holds it on here. These are nice little thick signs. They're that MDF and it has like a wood veneer on top of it. And these are a lot of fun to decorate. I've done these before. I'm going to do them up a little bit different this time. And this one's new this year. I haven't seen this one before. I was thinking about staining it, but I changed my mind. I'm actually going to paint this one with this Victorian or vintage Victorian home decor chalk paint, and we're going to decorate that up with a heart over this side, and then this one here I'm actually going to cover with some of this wood grain paper. Now this was one sheet of paper and it wasn't wide enough, so I just kind of cut it not quite in half, a little more than half because that didn't quite fit on there, but I just cut the paper. You know, I measured it and just cut this side off, and then I just taped it together so this will actually fit on the sign. And I've been wanting to use this for something, and I had no idea what I was going to use it for, and I thought this will be perfect for that. So that is what I'm going to do with this, and I'm just going to set it down on here like this, and we're just going to trace it. Actually, we're going to turn it around because I want it backwards, so it'll fit on the front much better that way if you turn everything backwards. Turn your paper over and your sign, and I'm just going to go around it, trace it out with a pen, and we're just going to cut that out. Nothing fancy here. I love my little easy DIYs, so I'm just going to hopefully trace around this nicely. You could use a pencil if you wanted to, but I figured this would be easy, and you're not going to see the pen mark. You do have to sand these a little bit. I did take a piece of sandpaper and just go along the edges because there was some, you know, little things hanging off of it here and there. That's on the paper, yeah it is. But it didn't take much. It was just a little bit here and there. So that's all I'm going to do for this one, and I'll cut this out off camera because, you know, I'm just going to cut around my lines here. And got to be careful that you don't move it. And I'm just going to glue this on. I'm just going to use some of the tacky glue from Dollar Tree. You could use Mod Podge, whatever, but I just had this right here and I figured I'm just going to use that. It really doesn't matter what glue you use. Hopefully I get down in all these little creases here. There we go. There, I think I got everything. Oh no, I don't. I didn't do this piece over here. Or this one. That one's kind of hard to get into. But that's not too bad. It went all right. Alright, so I think I got everything. There we go. So now we have our love all traced on there backwards, so then when we flip it over it'll be, you know, right side up on here. So I'm just going to take a pair of scissors, cut these out. I'm probably going to use my little scissors here from Dollar Tree to get into these small ones. I love these little scissors. They actually came out with these first at Dollar Tree, and these were wonderful with this teeny weeny point. These are a little bit different, but they work pretty good. But I absolutely love these, and I don't see those at Dollar Tree anymore, but they do have these all the time. And they work all right. So I'm just going to cut that out. Now, I'll show you when I glue that on there. But I'll do that off camera because that's going to take a few minutes for me to cut that out nicely. Now this one I already sanded too. I need to take this little tag off of here. Now for this one, I am just going to paint this one with this pretty pink paint. Hopefully this paint's not too dried out. I haven't used this in a long time. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, let me find one of my little dishes here, dump some of this paint in. Come on. There we go, it's coming. It's very thick, but that's fine. Alright, I'm just going to take one of my brushes from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to paint this whole thing this nice pink color, and I think I want to use some of these little hearts that come in these little kits you can get at Dollar Tree. It has 5 of these little kits in there. This one I kind of took some distressing ink. I'm not sure how I want it to look yet, so I did one with the distressing ink, and then I'm going to put one together. This is what they look like. It's like this, and then it comes with this little piece, and you could just leave that, but they're forevers. None of them are centered straight. And this little piece that goes in here, and then you can put in, you know, one of these pretty pink hearts, one of these real bright pink hearts, or they have these other little hearts, which I think I'm going to use, but I'm just going to flip it over so it's plain like that. So I don't know what I'm going to like. I'm going to paint it first and then see if I like the one that I used the distressing ink on, or if I like the bright one. But that's what I'm going to do with this one. I'm just going to paint the top part and the sides here, because this, you're going to see the sides on this one, so you're going to need to paint all of it. And I am just going to do that in this pretty pink paint. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do with this one. Although I am going to put some, like, maybe some stitching around here to give it a little, you know, more dimension to it. But I want to see, once I get it all painted up, exactly how I want to do this. But I figured I'd get this video started here because, you know, I'm going to have to wait for this paint to dry. And it is such a dark and dreary, snowy, rainy, miserable day today. It's just not a nice day. I love when it's just a nice snowy day, but it's not a nice snowy day. It snowed a little bit last night, and now it's just kind of slushy and disgusting outside. And I'm sure it's going to be very slippery out later. But yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to paint this whole thing in this pretty pink color, go around the edges. It's probably going to need 2 coats. The edges, sometimes they soak in pretty good, but it doesn't look too bad with just the 1 coat on the edge. So maybe I can get away with 1 coat on the edge and then just 2 on the top. So let me finish painting that up and cutting out that other little thing, and then we'll be back to finish these up. Alright, I got my home sign over there drying, and I got this all cut out. I love this paper. You can find this paper at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I'm not sure where I got this one from. What was it? Paper Craft Studio? It's probably Hobby Lobby. But they have lots of these really cool wood grain papers, and I just love using these for different things. I think this is going to look really cool on this sign. Yeah, that's how that is going to look. Kind of, whoops, hold that up there a little bit. Isn't that pretty? I just love the different colors of these wood grains. Alright, so I'm going to line this up. I took some of this tacky glue and put it in a little dish. I'm going to put it on with a brush, just because I make less mess that way. Just want to make sure I get this lined up really good here. Alright, and I'm just going to start down here and work my way across, just so I can try to keep this nice and even. And you want to get, you know, right up to your edges real good. This just works out better for me if I just brush it on real quick here. Alright, so now let me make sure I get everything lined up before I push this down too good. I think that's good right there. And then I can just flip it around here and start working from the other side. Now what I'm going to do after this is all dry is I'm going to go around the edges with some of the Tim Holtz Distressing ink. This is the vintage photo. You can get this at Michael's or Hobby Lobby too, where they have this ink pads and stuff. Excuse me. And I just have one of these little sponge things. You can get them there too. This one's kind of wore out. But what I'm going to do is go around the edges of this with it, because the edge of the paper where it's cut, you can see it's kind of white, and I don't want to see the white edge. And plus it'll distress it nicely too. So now I'm just going to pick this up and just keep on going here. There's really nothing to it. I'm still making a little bit of a mess. But luckily this stuff dries clear. Let's go around my edges. Now I'll get this one put down. There we go. And I just gotta get this L on here. Everybody always asks me how I get my brushes clean after I do this stuff. I just have a vase over here that I have some water in it and some Dawn dish soap. I mean, any kind of dish soap, it doesn't have to be Dawn. But I just toss them in there when I'm done, and then, you know, just let them soak, and they wash out really easy. Same with when I'm painting, I just toss them in there, and yeah. So this will come out of your brush. Alright, I think that's good. Here we go. So now I'm going to let that dry. So when it's all dry, I can go around my edges. Let me make sure I get all these edges pushed in down here. Make sure they're on good. There, and I think that's going to look really pretty. I love that. Oops, I see a little bit of a bubble in there. There we go. That's better. Alright. So yeah, I really love this. Love it, love it, love it. I wasn't sure what I was going to use this paper for, but I think this is perfect. And now the only other thing I'm going to do on these is I took some of this lace that they have at Dollar Tree right now in the Valentine's section. This stuff is so pretty. And I actually just cut out a couple of these little hearts, and I took some of the distressing ink, and I use a brush sometimes too with that, and I just tap it in the ink, and I just went over these a little bit just to make them look a little more vintage. And I am just going to put a couple of these on here. I think I'm going to put one over there and one down on this end, just for just a little something to add on to this. I mean, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I thought that would be pretty cute. And this would be great for any time of year. This doesn't have to be for Valentine's Day or anything. Also, these things stand up pretty well too. I'm pretty sure. I didn't try the love one. Yeah, they do. So if you just wanted to take your string off and put this up on a shelf, you know, with some pictures or whatever, I think this would look really nice. So yeah, there's a lot of things you can get, like the Valentine stuff, that you can use for all year long. And this would be one of them. I'm kind of thinking about not putting these on here myself, because I think that would look really pretty up on my shelf with some pictures. So I may leave those off, but that is an idea. And I may add these to something else, but you can cut out the little hearts out of the lace and, you know, add them to something. But I'm not going to put them on here. I kind of like it just the way it is. So the only thing I'm going to do, I'll show you after this dries, is I'm just going to go around the edges with that distressing ink, just to get rid of the white edge of the paper. And so let me set that aside and let that dry, and then we'll pull this little guy over here. Let me make sure I don't have any glue or anything. Alright. Now for this one, I'm just going to take a Sharpie, and I'm going to make little dashes to look like stitching around this. I love doing that, especially to kind of bring out all the lettering, especially like over here where the heart is. You kind of want to, well, it depends on how you want it. You can either have the heart come down, or you can have the E go over, and I think I'm going to have the E go over top of the heart for this one. But that's all I'm going to do, and let me do that part, because then you'll see what I'm talking about as far as defining these letters, because it kind of just blends right in with, let me see if I can do this without having it up close. I'm just going to make the little dashes to make this blend right in with the E, and then we'll just keep right on going. I just think it adds something to these little signs when you just add a little bit of stitches to the edge of it. It just kind of brings it out a little bit more. But that's how I'm going to do that all the way around. I'm going to go all the way around the heart. Just add a little stitch marks here and there. And I won't make you guys watch me do the whole thing, because this is pretty much it. Just going to go all the way around here. And you can make them farther apart, closer together, whatever, bigger, smaller. But I think that's going to look real pretty. And then after we do that, I'm going to glue these all together, and I'm going to put that on here. And this one is definitely going to be for Valentine's Day. And I think I'm going to finish, let's see, these are pretty much rounded edges, so I'm just going to finish my little E here, like so. So that'll define that letter pretty good. So I'm just going to finish doing all my little dashes, and when I get those done, I'm going to do it on the inside here too, just all around any of the outer edges, and it really makes it stand out nice. So I'm just going to go around this thing with my dashes, and when that gets done, my other thing should probably be pretty dry, and then we can finish these up. Alright, this is nice and dry. I already went around most of this with, I'm just taking this distressing ink and just going around the edges so I can get rid of all the white color from the paper. And if you get a little on the top of the paper, that's fine too. It just gives it that more distressed look. And I think that goes perfectly. I can't get in there. I gotta get a little brush here. There we go. Get rid of that paper look. Alright. You can just dab it on a brush to get into little creases if you need to. But I think that's great. I'm just going to leave that alone. I love it. I think that's just going to look pretty. I'm going to take this string off actually and set it up on a shelf. So that is it for that one. These are just some little easy peasy, my favorite kind of crafts, you guys know. Little Valentine crafts. Well, any time of the year craft, really, depending on how you paint this. Now, this one's definitely going to be for Valentine's Day, but like I said, depending on how you paint it, you know, you could even put the wood on this one too, and I think that would look great. You just really have to define that M somehow. But anyway, I'm going to take one of these hearts from this kit, and I'm just going to glue this together here. I hope my hot glue gun's heated up now. Yes, it is. I'm just going to put a little glue here and there on here, just to glue this little guy down. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to put this one this way because I don't want this side. Put this in here, and then I found one of these gems. I'm going to use one of these little gems in the center too. You can get these in Dollar Tree. They come in all different little colors. They're usually down in the Crafter Square section too. I forget how many's in a pack. But I thought this would look cute in the center of this too. Oops. Let me pull this up here and make sure I get it in the right spot. Hang on one second, I'll show you guys here. As soon as I get all my glue webs off. It was all stuck to my finger. Alright. Get some more of this glue off of here. But yeah, I think that's going to look real cute. And I'm just going to glue that right on here. You just need a little glue on the corners here and down on the tip. And that's pretty much all you need to do. And then that fits in there just nicely. There. And that is it. That's all I'm going to do for this little sign. And like I said, you can take the string off of this one and set this one up on a shelf too. This one I think I'm going to hang probably out in my kitchen where I have all my other little cutesy Valentine decor. I know I always said I don't really decorate for Valentine's Day, but this year, with all the pinks and things, and as I've been getting my Christmas stuff all gone, which is all gone now, I've been kind of replacing it with this stuff so it doesn't look so bare, and it kind of still looks pretty cheery. But anyway, that is it for that one and our little love sign. That's all I'm going to do to these little guys. So I figured I would just share that with you guys today on this dreary, miserable, rainy, snowy, whatever it's doing outside now kind of day. But thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed these little projects, and I will see you guys all next time. Have a great day, everyone.